Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this Bubu Kaftan neckline with fringe design. So I'll be making use of this adire fabric, crepe and a short fringe. I've gone ahead to fold the fabric into 4. I'll be making use of the entire width of the fabric, which is 22 inches on fold. Our shoulder measurement is 18 inches. When divided into 2, that is 9 inches. And I'm using 13 inches for our sleeve length. The first thing I did was to roll my starting line. Then I marked my neck width, which is 4 inches. And I came down by 1 inch for my back neckline. And I came down by 1 inch from my shoulder line, and I connected that to the neck width to form my shoulder slant. The next thing I did was to come down from the shoulder line to the hip line. Then I marked my hip point there, and I connected that with a straight ruler. Then I marked my dress length, and I added 2 inches hemming allowance to that. Then I connected that with a straight ruler. The next thing I did was to come down by 11 inches from the shoulder slant to get the chest line. Then on the chest line, I impute the bust circumference divided by 4 plus 4 inches ease allowance. I'm using the bust measurement because the bust is the biggest circumference I'm working with. You should make use of your hip circumference if that is the biggest circumference you are working with. Then I input the same measurements I have on the chest line, on the hip line, and on the hem line as well. Then I connected that with a straight ruler, just like you see me doing. Then I came in with a curve from the chest line into the straight line. Then the next thing I did was to connect my back neckline. And I marked my front neck depth, which is 8 inches. And I connected that to the neck width. So that will be all. So I'll be cutting out now. I'll cut out my back pattern first. Then I'm going to remove my back pattern, and I'll be working on the front pattern now. I'll cut my front neckline as well, and I'll set that aside. I'll be working on the front design now. I folded my black fabric into 2. The width is half of our shoulder measurements, which is 9 inches, and the length is 19 inches, which is 1 inch below our under bust. So I placed my pattern on the black fabric, and I traced out the front neckline. So I'll be cutting out the front neckline now. So the next thing I did was to mark the midpoint from the shoulder to the length of the black fabric. Then I came in by 2.5 inches on the length, and I connected it with a ruler to the midpoint, just like you see me doing. And I'm going to cut that out. So I'll be adding interfacing to the wrong side of the black fabric now. So I've gone ahead to add interfacing to the black fabric. So the right side of the black fabric is facing the wrong side of the fabric. Then I'll go ahead and make a stitch around the neckline. So I've stitched it down now, and I'm making notches around the neckline, so it will be easy for me to turn over to the right side. So I'll turn it to the right side now. Then I'll go ahead to give it a good press so it can lay flat. I went ahead to cut out 2 strips of fabric measuring 1.5 inches, and I folded it in 1/2 inch twice. So I'm left with 1/2 inch there. I came down by 8 inches from the shoulder line. I did that on the other side as well. I came down by 8 inches. And I came down by 2 inches from the neckline. So from the first point, I came down by 3 inches. I did that on the other side as well. I came down by 3 inches there. And from this point too, I came down by 2 inches. So the next thing I did was to place my strip on those points in a V-shaped form, like you see me doing in the video. I'm going to go ahead and sew that down. I'll do that for the second strip as well. I'll be stitching the strip only to the black fabric. I won't let it get to my main fabric. So I've gone ahead to stitch it down here. And I'm cutting up the excess. So I'll go ahead to fold the edges in 1/2 inch round the black fabric, and I'll press it down with my iron. So I've gone ahead to press down my 1/2 inch in. I'll be placing my fringe now. I'll go ahead to measure where I want the fringe to stop, and I doubled it. I doubled my fringe. So I'll go ahead to place my fringe on the black fabric. I'm going to sew it down. I'm going to stitch my black fabric to the main fabric. So I've stitched it down here, and I went ahead to cut a facing for my back neckline. So I'll go ahead and stitch that down. So I went ahead to cut 4 pieces of fabric for my pockets. The length is 11 inches and the width is 8 inches. So I just made a curve at one end of the pocket, like you see me doing in the video. And I'm going to cut that out. So I'm going to ahead to join my shoulders, and I've hemmed my sleeve. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to place my pocket. So all I did was to place my tape at my shoulder, and I marked my waistline. So I folded my fabric together like that. So I'm going to notch the points where I'm going to fix my pockets, so that my pocket can align. My pocket will be starting from that point. So I'm going to place my pockets on the notched part, starting from the notched parts now. Right side facing right side of the fabric. The straight side is facing the shoulder, while the curved side is facing the hem of the dress. So I'll go ahead to fix that on all the 4 sides. So I'm gonna ahead to stitch my pockets down here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to sew my side seam from the sleeve opening there. I'll sew my side seam. When I get to the pocket point, I'll come in by 1/2 inch. I'm going to sew my pocket round like you see me doing, and I'm going to stitch that till I get to the hem of my dress. I'll do that for the other side as well. And I'm going to hem the down part of my dress as well, 1 inch twice. So this is the final outcome of the dress. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, kindly subscribe to my channel and do not forget to like and share. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.